Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. We're looking at Will Kinney's article on Textus-Receptus.com. Will Kinney, Textus-Receptus.com. You want to check it out. It's really good. And we're looking at unicorns as a mistranslation. And I think in our last video, we really shown from history. He did. We just reporting the information he discovered. Yeah, unicorns existed in history, in not too distant history, and you have many famous, Caesar and Alexander the Great and Aristotle and many people talking about them. So let's look at Justin Martyr, the man that kept the philosopher's cloak on. Justin Martyr writes concerning the unicorn in Psalm 22 in his book Dialogue with Trypho, very famous book of the so-called early church fathers. This early church father said, "And what follows of the psalm, but thou, Lord, did not remove thine assistance from me." And he goes on, the horns of the unicorns was also information and prediction of events which should befall him. For the passage, deliver my soul from the sword, and my only begotten from the hand of the dog, save me from the lion's mouth, and my humility from the horns of the unicorns, is indicative. In chapter 16, Justin Martyr continues his reference to the unicorn, saying, "And God by Moses shows in another way," as I punch over to accidentally Psalm 22:21, the force of the mystery of the cross, when he said in the blessing Joseph was blessed, for the blessing of the Lord is in the land of the seasons of heaven, for the dews and for the deep springs beneath, let him be glorified among his brethren, his beauty like the firstling of a bullock, his horns as the horns of a unicorn. And so he's saying Moses quoted this as, Joseph and Jacob and all this. And he's saying Justin Martyr knew what unicorns were. It's not some new translation. This is 2,000 years old almost. It's being translated as unicorn. So the King James Bible is not alone in translating this specific Hebrew word as unicorn. Wycliffe's of 1395 translated as unicorn. So did Tyndale, 1525. Coverdale's 1535, Taverner's Bible, the Great Bible, the Bishop's Bible, 1568, the Geneva Bible, 1599, the so-called Greek Septuagint version, which really doesn't exist really, the Italian Diodati of 1649, I'm assuming the Bear Bible of 1569, I don't know Spanish, and then the Reina Valera of 1602, all of which preceded the King James Bible. Today, other more modern versions contain the word unicorn, such as the Reina Valera of 1909, the 1999 Las Sagradas Escrituras, the French Martin of 1744, Luther's German of 1545, which I've done some Bible pages on there. You might want to look at. They're really cool. At least I think so. The updated Luther Bible of 1912, the modern Greek translation of the Old Testament, Monokiros, the Catholic Dewey version of 1950, Darby's of 1870, 21st century King James Third Millennium Bible, the Daniel Webster Bible of 1833, Lamsa's Bible of 1933, the Peshitta, the 1936 of the Masoretic Scriptures, translates it as unicorn as well, put out by Hebrew Publishing Company of New York. Even the mythological Septuagint, as I jokingly say sometimes, regardless of when you think this great translation of the Old Testament was made by whom, it was chock full of satyrs or sartors, devils, dragons, and unicorns. Satyrs, yeah. The word unicorn is found in the Septuagint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. One other verse that puts a lie of the modern version's use of the wild ox is Psalm 92:10, but my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. The NASB, NIV, and the NKJV said my horn like that of a wild ox. How many horns does a wild ox have? 2. And this says it's in the singular, 1. But the Wycliffe 1395, Bishop's 1568, Coverdale 1535, Geneva 1599, Third Millennium 1998 says unicorn. And he goes into some Hebrew and Greek distinctions, which would be very difficult for me to get into here. Singular plural distinctions, but he makes an extraordinarily convincing case that it is supposed to be unicorn. The historic rabbinic commentary, Ibn Ezra Radak Rashi Sadi Gan, views on Deuteronomy 32:17 and the Reem question in a general support of the King James reading in Deuteronomy. Radak Kimchi is considered historically as the single most important Hebrew linguist and grammatical expert. His horns be like the horns of a unicorn. It is intended to mean that the horns are like the horns of several unicorns, for the Reem only has one horn. Just talking about a plural singular deal. The unicorn was a one-horned animal of some kind. Again, they have found them in the fossil record, mentioned tons, 2,000 to 2,500 years ago. One definite possibility is the Indian rhinoceros, of which there are still about 2,000 alive today. They cover large areas, or at least used to, now limited to India and Nepal. I've been there. They weigh about 4,500 pounds, can run over 20 miles an hour. They have one large horn on the snout, and their scientific name is the Rhinoceros unicornis. Unicornis. And that's what I've always assumed it was. Or an extinct animal. In the original 1611 of the KJV, the editors placed a rhinoceros in the margin of Isaiah 34:7. So they were not ignorant of that possibility. And so when you put all this together, yeah, unicorn, not the mythological thing that is so ubiquitous today, but a real one-horned animal, whether it's a rhinoceros that's very rare to this day, or an extinct one-horned animal that was seen by many famous people in history. Bible's true. God bless you. We love you. Talk with you later. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.